Steve, how the fuck do I play the AMX 5100? Seems to be made of paper. It is. It is one of the hardest tanks in the entire game to play well. It's why whenever I see a 5100, I expect it to be dead in the first 2 minutes, because no one plays it well. It is astonishingly difficult, because it is an example of a well-designed autoloader, and people aren't used to that in the game these days. They expect Skodas or Banasks or, well, Skodas. Anything check, anything with a small intro clip and lack of exposure time. I've talked before about the balancing factor for autoloaders is a large amount of damage in a relatively small amount of time, but they lack in mitigation ability, and they lack that via lapses in mobility or lapses in armor, and they balance that with exposure time. You look at examples of the 5120, 5100, T41 was kind of a standout in that regard, but the 50B to a certain extent as well. You look at the batch at 25T, you know, an intra clip of 2.73 on most of these tanks, going down to, I think, 2.5 on the 5100 in patch 2.0. But that is a long time to be out in front of an enemy actively shooting. Right? That is enough time for someone to turn their turret and put a shot, or maybe even two if you're going full clip, into you. And that's the balancing factor of autoloaders, and it's what's lost in introducing tanks like the Banask or the VZ, anything like that. 5100 is one of the few examples of that good design philosophy left in the game. And so you can take certain lessons from standard gameplay precedents, such as keep your hit points. It's very useful in French tanks in particular. One sort of nuance with French autoloaders is load your premium shells first. French autoloaders tend to be ambush orientated, and that is particularly prevalent in the late game. As more and more tanks fall off the map, as the map clears up and avenues of flanking opportunities open, you are more likely at that stage of the game to be able to dictate the engagement with your opponent, to say, okay, I want to shoot you here, I want to come from this direction. You can't do that at the start of the game. At the start of the game, you're going to find the front of enemy tanks. You're going to find the engagement being fought for dictation power. Right? So I always load premium, any premium I have, first in my French autoloaders, due to that lack of dictation potential, because I feel like you need premium more at the start than you do at the end of the game in those types of tanks. Also, basic autoloader principles. As an autoloader, your health is inherently more valuable from a tactical perspective than a regular tank. A regular tank on a one-shot doesn't do any less damage when it shoots than it does any other time when it has full health, right? But if you are in a one-shot on an autoloader, you lose the ability to assert your damage onto the enemy tank. You lose the ability to say, okay, yeah, shoot.